That's a whole other subject, guys. Yeah, but what, guys, I want to get into the subject because obviously we've got Lance here today, guys. Yeah, and Lance is refed me a few times, you know what I'm saying, and I can start to talk to you about some stories. I remember the first time, actually I played against Lance back in the day still, yeah, and I said, yo, I actually likened him to Les Ferdinand. I said to the guys, yo, that guy come like Les Ferdinand, you know what I'm saying, you know, so he's, you know, a striker. That's when he had hair in it, you know what I mean? I think that was your hair day, was, you know, you had the little hair job, hair going on, but now, on 100% thing, something that now Lance is the referee and he refs within the Christian League at this moment of time, but I definitely want you to talk about your journey with refereeing, because me and Marcus is on the other end, and when we see, and let me put it out there, we're in the black thing here, yes, story. When you see a black referee, you're like this going, so help me God. You feel like you treat it like a black police officer. You're guaranteed to go to prison no matter what. He'll find a technicality and send you, just so, because we feel like you have to prove that you're not showing any bias against us. And sometimes as black teams, we're like this, oh my gosh, oh goodness sake, you know what I mean? We're not going to get a blind today, but in one sense we're expecting a blind, but we shouldn't really expect it anyway. So yeah, but just for guys, just get it off my chest, man, you know what I mean? What is on here, you know, it has to be, you know, put it on the altar so we can move forward with our skills and gifts. But Lance, just give us your story, because you were playing football, and then all of a sudden you went this refereeing way. That's like becoming a police officer, bro. So just tell us about it, man.
Okay, so I said to Marcus when he just nipped off that I did my coaching badges at Walsall Football Club in 1989.
Okay, cool.
Coaching badge, rather. It was called the FA Prelim then, and that was like the launch pad to your coaching football career. And if you could get a job within the system after you got your coaching badge, it would have been a miracle. It would have been a miracle. So I spent quite a few years working on soccer schools for Villa, Birmingham City, Wolves, Walsall. So I was like a freelance coach, learning on the job, did my badge, that kind of stuff. And what I started to do as well was working with, me and two of the other guys who were working at Walsall formed Walsall Ladies. So we started to train Walsall Ladies and join the league, that kind of stuff. And it was at a level where when we was playing friendlies, no one wanted to ref the games. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. Just give me the whistle. So I realized then, I enjoy doing this. This is all right, this is. So what I was doing, obviously I was playing as well. So I'd play on Saturdays in the Christian League, and then Sunday afternoons I'd ref. So I ended up doing my proper referees exam, went to Stafford, did my exam, passed it, and started to work my way up the ranks. So the time I left the Christian League was after I got promoted. So what we used to have in the referee system was class 1, class 2, class 1, class 2, class 3. 3 was the beginning where you got into it. If you got to class 1, that's when you start to get onto the conference. You can get onto what was the old first division, the old second division, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's how it used to be. And then when they did a reshuffling of the pack and when the Premier League started to come to prominence, what they did is I says, right, okay, we're going to go with levels. So you start out as a level 7, okay, and then you work your way forward to hopefully get to the Holy Grail, which is level 1. So I decided I'm going to stop playing now. I was about 33, 34. And I woke up one morning, I said, I don't want to play football no more, I'm done. I'm going to focus on the refereeing. So I was reffing in the Christian League, and then I got promoted from a level 7 to a level 5 after one season. Then I went from a level 5 to a level 4 the following season. So that means when you get to a level 4, the FA tell you where you are going.
Okay.
You go in the computer, you tell them what close dates you have for the next month, and then they will send you fixtures. And some Saturdays, and I'll give you an example. One Saturday morning, I'm lying in bed, the phone goes, it was the FA. I hadn't got a game that Saturday. We want you to go to such and such. because I hadn't closed it, I had to go.
Wow.
If I didn't go,
yeah.
they put a mark against your name. He ain't serious about this.
So what level? What level is that? What level would what
That
league?
was a level 4.
Level 4.
So
what leagues?
I was reffing at below the conference level.
Ooh, okay.
Which is like West Midlands.
Is it like Prem, like the comp Prem, Midland comp Prem?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And then there was the West Midlands was like a rival league at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was reffing on those.
Wow.
And then I was on the line on the conference as a level 4. Then I'd be on FA Prem under 18s on the line, Football League on the line, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I finished high in rankings as a level 4 and got promoted to a level 3, which means that I now start to ref all the academy football, which is a pretty professional setup, that kind of stuff. And I could be reffing on a Saturday afternoon on a combination league, but on Wednesday I could be on the line in the Champions League as a level 3.
Wow.
So a level 3 opens up the door for you
to get
onto the Championship, to get onto the Premier League, and they take it down a route of, is it going to be reffing or is it going to be on the line? So in essence, I could have been on the line on the Premier League, Football League, Championship as a level 3. So here's what a couple of things that I knew I was hitting my head against a brick wall. Okay. The first thing is I went to a refs meeting in Daventry, and by the way, they expect you to turn up for every single refs meeting, whether it's local or national. If you don't turn up, put a tick against your name. I went to everything, up and down the country, killing my engine in my car to get to these meetings. And I remember the very first meeting I walked in Daventry, and I walked in and there were about 350 delegates there. And I looked around and I was thinking, where are the people of colour? 99.9% of the people in the place, male and female, were white. I saw one more black brother and one Asian brother. That's it. I didn't see anything else. And I thought, flipping heck, where are the minorities? Where's that representation?
Yeah,
so that was that one thing. Anyway, fast forward now, I go to a local meeting, I walk in, this is a couple of seasons after. People are coming up to me and saying, well done. I'm saying, well done what? They said, you're in the top 5 in the country. You're in the top 5 for the country for assistant referees. You're going to get Football League. You might even get Championship or Prem. So I turn up at this meeting. I don't know anything about this. So how do they know before me is what I've always wondered. Anyway, so you get a letter at the end of the season and they tell you whether you're promoted or not. Okay? Now, you guys will have heard of Sean Massey. Yeah, Sean Massey?
Yeah.
Referee on the Premier League.
Yeah.
Andy Gray and Keys got sacked because they made some derogatory comments about kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She's on the same fitness test as me. Okay? And it's 7 laps of a 400-meter track in 12 minutes. That's a fitness test. So that's some going, that is. That's middle distance.
That's straight up, man. Yeah.
We had to do that every season in order to remain at the level that we're at, by the way. And then they give you about a 5-minute break and you have to do 2 50-meter sprints in something like 8-9 seconds. Okay? When you turn up, you have to produce your blood pressure test, your heart rate test. You have to get your GP to sign it. And you have to hand it to them because people were dying on the side of the track. But we don't know about that in public. But people are having heart attacks on the track. Anyway, so this day, the fitness test, Sean Massey, I go through through my 7th lap. So I know I'm done, but you're not allowed to stop running. You got to keep running. So I slow my running down and they're shouting, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. I'm dead at that point. So I look and I'm thinking, my watch is beeping. I'm thinking, why haven't they blown? Why haven't they blown? Because Sean and Massey hadn't got through in the allocated time, right? Oh. And there was another guy who was being tipped for Football League, and he was struggling as well. When they finished and got through, that's when they blew, right? And I'm telling you this because it fits in with what I'm saying about that meeting I went to, where they're all saying, well done, well done, well done. Anyway, so based on everything that everybody said, people shaking my hands, patting me on the back, coming towards the end of the season, I'm expecting a letter from the FA. Nothing. And I actually finished, I think it was either 3rd or 4th in the whole country for assistant referees, right? And they took something like 13 or 14 assistant referees who got promoted to Football League, Championship, Premier League, right? Yours truly wasn't even mentioned. Wasn't even mentioned. Nothing. Sean Massey went Premier League that season. Bearing in mind, Sean Massey's dad is an FA boy. So what I did is I thought, you know what? It ain't going to happen for me. It's obvious that they don't want me there. So I said, I'm going to do one more season at level 3 and I'm dropping back down to 5. I'm going back on the Christian League and I'm just going to enjoy the odd reffing game on a Saturday morning. So I typed up that next season, I typed up a letter, put it in the post to the FA and told them I'm done. And I got a letter back from Neil Barry saying, sorry to hear that you're leaving, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But I realized, because of the color of my skin, they're not going to move me. And here's the thing, right? Most of the games that you do when you get to a certain level, there's always an assessor there. Do you know what I heard more than anything else? You're a big guy, you command respect on the pitch. What has that got to do with me refereeing a football match?
You're a big black guy.
I heard that time and time again. You know, you can see you've got a presence on the pitch. One guy said, in fact, you remind me of Uriah Rennie. So this is what I was dealing with. Straight away, it was this kind of racial profiling thing. Oh, he's a big black man, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to hear about that. I wanted to hear about how I actually performed as a referee. Because the assessors are supposed to come in and give you 3 development points, okay? And they're supposed to give you 3 strengths, okay? And I remember my last season, when I knew I was done, it was the last season, I knew I'm done at the level 3. I was on an FA Cup game, just up north. And the assessor came in, and I thought to myself, he's talking to my assistants like they're little boys. And I thought, so that means he's going to turn to me and start in a minute. So I'm preparing myself. I'm sitting there. We've still got our ref's kit on. And then he turns to me and I said, I'm going to stop you right there. And he looked shocked. And I said, Neil Barry said, if an assessor comes into your changing room and disrespects, you can ask him to leave. And I said to him, I'm that close to asking you to leave the changing room now, because I don't like the way you talk to my assistants. You talk to them like the little children, and I'm not going to put up with you talking to me like I'm a little child, like you're a schoolmaster. I said, so be very careful what you say from this point, because I'm on the verge of asking you to leave. I was fed up, man. I ran up and down the country for the FA, north, south, east, and west, at the drop of a hat sometimes. And to be honest, I was just a number in a computer. There's the picture, guys. Wow. There's the picture. So is it any surprise that there is so little ethnic representation at top level of football? No surprise whatsoever to me, because I've been in the system and I've seen how it works.
See, I haven't even been in the system in that way. There was one point where I had looked at doing the refereeing courses and stuff like that, but it was literally just looking very generally from the outside and seeing that there wasn't anybody that, you know, to put it short, looked like me in there, which I thought, you know what, I've been watching football for years and years and I'm not seeing it. So if I invest my time in this, what am I going to be able to actually achieve? And I think that was the deciding factor in me deciding not to go down that route. Man, bro, listen to your story. It's just crazy, man. Jeez.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare. Yeah, and to be honest, Lance, like, you know, I know you've gone in more detail than you did when we spoke on the phone about this, yeah. But like for me, this is the problem is that we can't keep on moving forward, guys, without details. And this is what happens when you ask yourself, people, why as black men we're kind of resentful to the footballing system, is that it has allowed us. We've just been used by the system, yeah, and ultimately I say never, I never say fully never, but not 100%, but majority of the times, if not 99% of the time, literally, as you've seen there, you expecting that, you know, when you're from Birmingham, you know, or the West Midlands, whenever you go to a place like a conference or something, you're gonna look for your cohort from London. You know, when the man them come from London, you got the 20 man from London all come through, so you expect that to come through and thinking, yeah, man, but to see nobody but yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and to be treated like this, and this is what got Yorkshire messed up. Because they keep on assuming that they're fine with the way they're going on, and they're going on with their colonial ways, yeah, right to this very day. And this is the problem with the FA system as well. It's very colonial. When I reached out to the Christian League about, you know, what you're doing about racism, and then I found out, we had to show is that the FA is doing nothing about racism, yeah. It's actually the police. And I went, hold on a second. So you can actually take people to charge, but the FA hasn't put anything hard law. So I'm sure, Lance, if somebody called someone the N-word on the pitch, you would deal, as a black referee, you'll deal with that appropriately, and the FA couldn't touch you. But the reality show is it's down to interpretation. So if you got a white referee, he may give the guy a bly. Yeah, because there's no law to say that in the FA rules says any racial discrimination, yeah, you know, anything that is homophobic, red card, yeah, you know, it's down to interpretation, right down to these levels, and as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's something that Wenger said. Wenger once said that I was watching an interview with him, and he said that he just wants to see football accessible to all. And football is not accessible to all. You know, we know we are coaching how hard it is for young black people, and he said that not even looking at in terms of the UK, but we're looking in terms of worldwide. He wants talent that are in Africa to have the same accesses if you got that ability, instead of being the 1 out of a million. You know what I'm saying? So it's a case like that still. So it's definitely a crazy one. So for me, it's a hard one. It's a real hard one. You know what I'm saying?
The problem is that even before you step into these kind of careers, the box is already in place for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So as soon as you step in them, you're basically, they've already identified before you even like putting your application form in how far you're going to get. Do you know what I'm saying? With your referee, coach, whatever. I mean, you've heard me say it once. My brother, he's a coach, done his badges and stuff like that. He's coached under 18s at Brentford. He's done the same thing at West Ham. But when you speak to him, it's very clear that he knows about the levels. He knows about the levels. Even no one said it to him. You can feel it. You can see it around you. It's really crazy. So, and you know, we always talk about, you know, how bad it is not to see managers like, you know, people come through like Ledley King and these guys getting opportunities to manage Dwight York, whatever, right? If you're seeing that on that level, then it's in one respect, it's not surprised you're going to see it on the level with the referees and all that as well. It's the whole system. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and on the back of that, one of the things that I said in discussion with some what I'd call senior referees and stuff is I told them straight, it's an old boys club. Because if your dad was a referee in the 70s and you go down your dad's route and you're white, the chances are you're gonna make it onto the top level. You're gonna get FIFA and you're going to be doing Champions League, Euros, FA Cups, that kind of stuff. Because there's I can't remember the ref's name. I think he did one of the Man U games, Taylor. I was on games with him when he was coming through. Right, so I know a lot of the referees and assistants who've made it to that level because they were coming through when I came through. But here's another observation which I'll throw in there.
Go on.
Uriah Rennie, okay, was supposed to have the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
And it was Alan Wiley who was the first referee who did the League Cup final and the FA Cup final. And the reason why Uriah Rennie didn't get the cup final was because something happened at a Premier League game which the FA weren't happy about, so he got stripped of it. Okay, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
so,
I heard about that.
Exactly. So you think about it now, right?
Yeah,
you know, like on your BT Sports and columns, newspaper columns, that kind of stuff, radio talk shows, the ex-referees are using are all white.
Yeah.
Every one of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, the FA missed a massive trick here because even though Uriah Rennie kind of didn't finish in a blaze of glory like he wanted to, have you heard his name mentioned since he actually retired from refereeing?
Not at all, bro. Listen, Uriah Rennie was on adverts. I opened up. I used to buy the. Was it Match? What's the name of that football magazine? Or 442? Yeah, back in the day, yeah. And I opened up, and Uriah Rennie is there with, you know what I mean, in an advert, yeah. And he was ready to go for start. He was like him, and who's that Barley brother from Italy?
Chiellini,
yeah. Them two were like there. Yo, you know, you got the small white guy, little teacher, and you got this tall karate. They said he's plays karate. He does this. He does kickboxing, and you know what I mean. And everyone's scared over him. But again, it just makes the guy to be. It's not just because of his. He's got to have knowledge of the rules. He's got to know what he's got to be doing. He's got to know how to control people's character. You know what I mean? He can't be going in there and said, "Listen, guys, if I'm going to knock it out if you get faced with me." It's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about people, you know what I'm saying? And just because you're intimidating people because of your skin and size, you know what I mean? It's very annoying. But to be honest, bro, these stories need to come out now. Just like in Yorkshire with my guy coming through the system, and the reason why these things have to come out, and you know, people listening in, is people have to realize is that whether it's Christendom, whether it's ignorant white people, you know, and when I say ignorant, you can't just say, oh, just move on, things have changed. It's not, because you can't change anything without knowing what to change. How can you change without knowing what to change? How can how can you make things better? You know, Jim Davidson, I don't know if you remember Jim Davidson, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, he's that guy that did that bad impression of a Jamaican. Now, people use that to be racist against me at school. They used to go, "Hello there, man. My name's Roger from Giz." You did all that stupidness, yeah. And I'm seeing him on YouTube justifying that and saying, "Oh, he just imitated his friends," and he doesn't want to sit down and listen to us to say, "Bro, that opened the door for racial abuse at school," and he can't turn around and said, "Sorry, I offended you. I didn't understand at the time." Cool, I can move on, but I don't want to hear, like he's saying now, "Oh, well, this is why I did it. There was no malice in it," but he doesn't know what he caused. You know what I mean? And too often, their ignorance, and again, the whole daddy and not even daddy and child, whether it's boy or girl, coming through the ranks at the sacrifice of quality referees. Bro, you got to number 3 or 4 and then getting robbed like that, bro, and you invested all that time.
Yeah.
And then wonder why people don't hate football.
Do you know what? It was after that experience. It was only for the fact that I still enjoyed refereeing why I carried on. Do you know what I mean? Because I heard something the other day, and it was talking about the mental health issues that have been thrown up by youngsters who are rejected from clubs. Every year, every summer, there's a cohort of young people who the clubs say at every level say, "I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go." Yep. A lot of them go into depression after, and they hate football.
Yeah.
They don't even go to the matches. They stop watching football because of that experience. But for me, it was a case of I'm doing this for me, not for them. So I'm going to carry on refereeing.
Good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said before, the FA missed a real trick, because what they should have done with Rennie says, you know what, come and be an ambassador for the FA. Come and be an ambassador. You broke the mold, just like was it Dave Best back in the 70s who, you know, one of the first black players and stuff who was making it at top level. The ones who were throwing bananas on the pitch, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Colin Best. Is it Colin Best? Dave Best.
Something like that.
Yeah. West Ham, with the West Ham one.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And the FA could have used Rennie to start to encourage the next generation of black referees.
Yeah.
To inspire them.
Yeah.
To go in the schools and talk about his experience as a referee, that kind of stuff. But it was a case of, see you later.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So if the FA have been being accused of being sexist and institutionally racist. So what did they do after they had this Roots and Branches investigation? They got a woman on the board who was a woman of colour again, and she didn't last very long. So it was almost like it's a token gesture. Get her in there kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And we see it in the coaching. John Barnes has said it many times. There's endless black coaches out there who, like you said already, Roger, have passed their coaching badges. They've been assistants within top level clubs. And John Barnes said something which was interesting. He said, if you're black, you ain't going to get the time a white manager gets.
100%.
You're not going to get the same time. They're going to ship you on long before you've been given a chance to turn it around. And I listened to Paul Ince the other day on the United Stand, and he was saying that people were saying to him with the Blackburn job, don't take it.
Yes. Yes.
Where you are.
You develop
a great job here. Stay with this level. Take them up another branch, and then perhaps if another opportunity comes, do it. But Paul Ince was just like got straight in there, and I knew he was set up to fail from day one. And he didn't last there 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So there is still, for me, a problem that runs like a current, a tidal wave through the FA system, that it's an old boys club, and it reflects in how many black coaches we've got, how many black managers of top level clubs we've got, and also where are the black assistant referees and where are the black referees at top level, because there hasn't been another one since Uriah Rennie and the FA.
That was 2008.
There you go. Wow. There you go. Shocking.
And the joke is, like you said, they missed the trick of him, because like last year, I remember there was a massive spread in a load of the newspapers about Uriah Rennie, because he came out saying that it's about time they stopped speaking and actually put words into action. And like he was doing this whole thing where he was trying to get the FA to kind of like fix up and stuff like that last year, and they were not interested clearly in anything that he had to say. It's like let's just let him have his time in the media and just carry on business as usual. So they're just clearly not interested. Because even after he stopped in 2008, for him to come back last year and still be trying to make a big thing and say, look, let's fix this, they're not interested.
Not interested in the slightest.
Absolutely.
Not interested in the slightest.
Absolute wound, guys. This is the wound, absolute wound. And I think I want to be honest, guys. I'm gonna obviously the time has kind of gone, because that's a great, you know what I mean, insight, Lance, into that. And I think that, you know, what I am going to be doing is speaking to another friend of mine, he's a family friend. I don't know if you've heard of Herval Hector. He's been doing this stuff, refereeing games over Sandwell sides from when did he start? He was doing it. He's in his. He should be hitting 60s. He should be hitting 60 soon. So yeah, I mean, he's been doing it since I can remember. So since when I was about 10 years old, and he came up at the same time as Uriah, and you know what I mean. And Yeah. He's talking the same talk as you, and I think this is important. We get this talk out there because nobody else is going to record these testimonies and put them out there. People just putting pure foolishness out there, and pretending like everything's okay. It's not okay. We're still not seeing black referees coming through. Me and Marcus ain't encouraged to become a referee. People have choices in very young ages, 19, 18, 20. Do you want me to tell my sons to actually try and be a referee and face all the abuse, this and that and whatever there, but you're gonna get all the racial slurs that you get going on? Even when you talk about children's football, the racial slur in children's football, I couldn't believe it when I was there with my son's team, which is a predominantly white team, and some of the things that children said, and I look at the parents going, what are you saying in front of your children? And you know what I mean? And it's like they said, oh, this that about girl, and you're like thinking, I thought this is how they used to talk when I was at school, and they're still talking like it now. So me, I don't think I could handle seeing that and refereeing that with the kids and dealing with that, because I just don't tolerate it. So it's something that we need to put out there, guys. So I will be put this video, as everybody knows, this is gonna go out on video. It's gonna be evident, unless YouTube's gonna take it down, which they won't. It's a true fact. And Lance, I appreciate you, but Lance, you talk sense today, so we'll have you back on. Don't worry about it, bro. Yeah. you know about sports out there still, yeah. So I think you passed the test. You know what I'm saying, and. No, because the thing is, what we want to do, you got to be able to take the hard talk as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we get emotional about our football, but the reality show is that basically we say it as it is, we see it as it is. You know what I mean? And as black men who's been burnt, but I would say burnt a bit by the system, but we've seen what it is. I think the youngsters need to realize that because they've been told by school that everything's okay. When they come out, and they don't know what they have to struggle. They're not being told that the struggle is real. And we grew up with our parents telling us the struggle is real. These guys are growing up being told that there's no struggle. And then when they hit the struggle, they crash. They go depressed. We're losing our young men. We're losing black men because they don't understand the struggle. Because they're not.
I think the racism is there in a very different way now. I mean, growing up here, you're talking about our generation that, you know, being chased down the street by a bunch of white boys was a realistic situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where now it's all done on the political level or behind the doors and stuff like that. So you get things like people having those discussions, and then decisions are made, and then before you know it, things are said. So it's not as in your face as the physical stuff was like coming up. So now they're all literally, as far as they're concerned, I see just as many black kids in this school as me now. I see this, that. So for them, everything is fine. They don't know about the stuff that's going on unless we tell them about what we come from, and also tell them what this realness is still happening. As far as they're concerned, it's all good.
Crazy.